So welcome to another media buying slash Facebook ads video. This is an e-commerce brand ad account that made about $18,000 in the month of October. And so this is a pretty small brand. It's a small business. And this is a client of mine that generated quite a lot of money for a small business on a roughly 2.4x return. So I'm going to be walking you through how you can do this for small businesses, how you can do this for even larger businesses as well. But there's a few things that I'll walk through in this video to sort of show you exactly what you sort of need to actually get these results in the first place. And then also once you start running ads, what are sort of the best practices in e-commerce to actually get good results? Because e-commerce ads is something that I feel like a lot of people are really struggling with, especially on the smaller business side. So I'm going to show you how you can take a business, really scale them up from a small business using Facebook ads. So the first thing I want to say is that there are a few prerequisites for running e-commerce ads for a brand. So a lot of the time you are going to need at least a 2% conversion rate on their website, and I would say roughly a $40 to $50 average order value. Now you can make Facebook ads work with these numbers not being exactly there yet. You can have a 1.5% conversion rate maybe, but the thing that you need to understand is that if you're paying for traffic and it's coming to your website, then you need to have a website that actually converts. So if you are going to run ads for a small business and they don't have a good website, it doesn't convert well, they're not selling enough product to really make it viable, it's really in your best interest not to charge them for running ads, because at the end of the day, you want to work with a business that is already doing well on its own, it already succeeds, and then you're going to amplify that business using paid traffic. So that's one of the things that I'd really strongly recommend is make sure that the business has good fulfillment, they have like a good product or good service, they have a 2% plus converting website, and they have an AOV of, at least $50 or so. The AOV can be smaller if they're a more profitable business, but most of the time, if they're running at like, a 60, 70% gross profit rate, you probably want an AOV of maybe like around $50 before you start running ads. If you don't have this, I would probably just not run ads for that business. So I'm just going to show you proof of results here. So you can see there's a few campaigns here. A bunch of this info will probably be blurred out, but there's a few campaigns here that we were running for October. You can see the main one generated about $15,000. There's another one here that generated another $3,000. And I'll explain why we have two campaigns there. And then we have a retargeting campaign down here, which honestly, retargeting using this was a mistake. You don't need to use retargeting, and luckily we only spent $80 on it, which, we probably should have spent a lot less. So roughly a 2.4x return on ad spend for a small business that has, quite high margins. A 2.4x return is fine, but if you're running ads for a bigger business, a lot of the time they're going to need at least a 3x return. So when you're running ads for bigger businesses, you are going to have to get a stronger ROAS here. It's usually going to be easier because they are usually going to have higher AOVs anyway. But for a small business, most small businesses, getting a 2.4x return is fantastic. So just to clarify, we spent about $7,600. This resulted in about 300 or so purchases and generated about 17,600 in total. So pretty good result. Lots of small businesses would be happy with that. And I'm going to show you exactly what we did. So the first thing that I want to go over is you should always be using CBO. So don't use ad set budget optimization. Always set up your budget on the campaign level. So that's whether you're using an advantage shop or just a normal sales campaign. Always use CBO. If you don't do this, the ads are just not going to be well optimized. Trust Facebook to optimize the budget and allocate it where it needs to go. So you might be looking and say we have two campaigns here. This is because we actually started really testing the advantage shop feature for this brand, because prior to this we were really only using a normal CBO campaign. So the difference in the setup is when you go to create a campaign, you usually have an option to do a manual sales campaign, or you can do an advantage shopping plus campaign. The difference is that the ad set level optimization is a bit different. So in an advantage shopping, you really just have one ad set. You can't add another ad set in to do different audiences. You just really pick a location and you let it kind of just find people on its own. It's kind of the most AI, most machine learning driven campaign you can select. Whereas the normal CBO manual sales campaign, which we were running, you have a little bit more control over what actually happens. I would recommend every brand tests an advantage shop and a normal CBO campaign. This is because really, in my opinion, the CBO is usually better, but I was very surprised that the advantage shopping massively outperformed this campaign here. So I would strongly suggest trying out both. If you're starting ads for the first time, maybe select a $50 budget for advantage shop and a $50 budget for a normal CBO. I would always try and make a manual sales campaign work first for reasons that I'll show after. But the advantage shopping campaign is definitely something worth testing, because if it works, at the end of the day, it works. So don't listen to what people tell you to do. If you do something and it gets results, then obviously double down on that. So to show you what we were doing initially in this campaign, a lot of these are going to be blurred out just for privacy reasons, so that you don't see exactly what sort of targeting and ads we're creating. But you can see that this campaign spent about $1,500 across these two ad sets. And basically what these two ad sets were two separate testing ad sets. So we had a campaign that was spending, about $50 a day, and we had two ad sets which had ads in both of them. So you can see here that one got a lot more of the spend, this one got a lot less of the spend, and this one got a much better CPA as well. So what you can basically do is you have your CBO structure set up, and then each ad set is separated by a creative concept. So the different creative concepts are you're not really changing your targeting at all. You're leaving broad targeting on, and then each ad set is what is actually doing the targeting. So you're allowing the ads to find people that they appeal to. So you're not using interests, you're not using custom audiences, not lookalikes, nothing like that. You're just going to use a broad ad set, and then in each ad set you're going to have different creatives. So you might see that there might be another one here. Yeah, there's one here, which this one actually did get some spend, but obviously Facebook realized that these ad sets were better and it allocated more of the budget. And that's what I'm talking about when it comes to CBO, is that these three ad sets could all be on, and Facebook is still going to be able to find the best ads to allocate the budget to, because you're not forcing the budget just to one ad or one ad set like you are with an advantage shopping campaign. So this is how you're going to break up your manual sales campaign. You're going to make a manual sales campaign started on whatever budget you can afford, and then have 3 or 4 ad sets to start with. And in each ad set, you're going to have a different type of creative. So ad set 1 could be a video, ad set 2 could be some images, ad set 3 could be some testimonials. You get the point. You're basically just going to separate them out, and then in each ad set, I'd probably put 2 or 3 ads in each one, and just see what Facebook can actually do with that budget. So to move on, advantage shopping. So why did advantage shopping end up taking up most of our spend? The way advantage shopping works is, like I said, there's only one ad set here. So you can see we've spent, $6,000 on this one ad set alone for 256 purchases. And this has generated $14,500. So the reason that we ended up going with advantage shopping is because we tested it out and it did really well. That's literally the only reason. The reason that you might not use advantage shopping is because in the early stages, when you're trying to figure out what ads work, since you can't create multiple ad sets, it's very hard to test creatives inside of an advantage shopping campaign, which is why a lot of media buyers have a CBO campaign where they test creatives and then they move those creatives into an advantage shopping plus campaign. That isn't necessarily something that I think is best practice. However, I do think that if you can make something like that work and it gets results for your business, and there's no reason that you shouldn't do that. So I'm not saying that you have to do that, but that is something that you can do. You can just go straight in with an advantage shopping campaign, drop a bunch of ads in there and see what happens. But yeah, it's really up to you just to see what works. You might find your CBO works better. You might find your normal CBO rather. You might find that your advantage shopping works better. It's just up to you. But as you can see, we have one ad set, which is all you can have with a CBO. And then you can see that almost all of the budget went to this ad here. This was a really good ad. It just got great results from the get-go. Yeah, I'm not going to obviously show you all of the ads that we're running because this is for a very niche product, but this is usually what you're going to see. You're going to see that one ad is probably going to take up most of the budget because it's the best one. And then you're going to have a few other ads that are still going to get results, but they're probably going to get a lot less results than the one that is the most popular. And yeah, you can see here cost per purchase is pretty much aligned with the spend, and the results obviously align with the spend as well. And so you can see that, this one ad alone made about 13 grand, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, you can see some of the other ads are still picking up decent ROASes, but 2.4 average ROAS, pretty good results. So yeah, this is basically what we did. We moved all of our really good ads into an advantage shopping campaign, and then we let Facebook pretty much just find all of the purchases that we had. So this is exactly what you would be looking for from an advantage shop. If you're seeing your ads get a really good result in a normal sales campaign, you may make an advantage shopping campaign on a low budget and then move some of the ads into there. And if they get good results, they get good results. So that's one thing that I would highly recommend that you do test out, is because a lot of the people are going to give you advice where this is the correct way to do it, this is the incorrect way to do it. And at the end of the day, you should really just be testing to see what exactly works. So this worked for us. This client obviously got a great result from doing advantage shopping, but a lot of clients do not. A lot of clients are only running manual CBO campaigns. So it's definitely something worth testing out if you are running ads as an e-commerce brand. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that in all of these are ads that I'm creating myself, using B-roll shots and whatever, to make ads, constantly testing both inside the CBO, and then eventually when they do well, moving them into an advantage shopping campaign. So it's very important that as a media buyer, if you're not creating ads that are getting good results, you're not good at editing ads or like talking in copy and that sort of things, you are not going to get good results. So to make sure that you can generate results like these, you're going to want to be constantly testing new creative concepts, new creative ideas, so that you give Facebook more data to work with. Because at the end of the day, the more ads that you test, the more likely you are to find a winner. Now, that doesn't mean that you test every single day, but it does mean that, over time you do want to be stacking up a large library of ads that could potentially work. So, yeah. But yeah, if you learned something from this video, feel free to drop a like, drop a comment. I'm going to make more videos again, walking through ad accounts and, the things that I'm finding are actually working right now for me. But yeah, if you learned something, drop a like, subscribe, and yeah, thanks for watching.